Hello students, welcome to part 4 of how to program the video game Doom on the Broom using Scratch. So at this point, not much happens when the witch loses a life. So we're going to fix this to make the witch go out with a bang by creating some fireworks, adding a scream, and updating the counter that shows how many lives she has left. Okay? Alright, so let's click on the witch sprite. We have a number of scripts already built for the witch, so I'm going to make sure I'm on the witch sprite. Okay, so let's add this script. So I'm going to go to the events blocks, and I'm going to start with when I receive this message, lose a life. Okay, so that's the only new message that we've created so far. When I receive that message, lose a life, let's go to the looks blocks, and I'm going to hide. Okay. Let's go to the sound blocks, and I want to play sound. Okay. So right now, we only have the pop sound loaded. So let's click on the sound tab, and let's choose a sound from the library. So I'm going to click on that button, and I want to scroll down, and I want to search for Scream Female. So here it is. So I can preview it by clicking play. All right, so that's the right one. So I'm going to click on Scream Female, and I'm going to go down to the bottom right-hand corner and click OK. So now that it's loaded, I can go back to the Scripts tab, and this should give me the option to load up Scream Female. Okay, let's go to the data blocks, and I want to grab a change block, change. And every time that I receive the message lose a life, I should change lives by -1. Okay? So every time you lose a life, you should go down a life -1. Okay, so I'm going to grab, let's go to the control blocks, and I'm going to grab this, the if then else block. If then else block. Okay? Let's go to the green operators block, and I'm going to choose a greater than block, a greater than. So in the first opening of the greater than block, I'm going to go to data, and I'm going to choose lives. So lives goes in the left-hand opening, and then in the right-hand opening, if lives is greater than, and I'm going to manually type in the number 0. So in other words, if you're not completely dead, if you haven't lost all of your lives, so I'm going to grab the greater than block and place it inside the top arm of the if then block. If you have more lives to go, then we're going to go to control, and we're going to grab a wait block. We're going to wait, and we're going to wait exactly 2 seconds. We're going to wait 2 seconds, and then we're going to go to the looks block, and then we're going to show. Okay, so when you lose a life, it's going to wait 2 seconds for the witch to reappear. All right, so what happens if you don't have any lives left? So that's the else part of the loop. Let's go to events, and let's go to broadcast. So we're going to grab a broadcast block, and we're going to click the down arrow, and we're going to create a new message. So right now the only message we have is lose a life, so we're going to create a new message. And the new message is going to be game over, capital G, capital O, no spaces, and exclamation mark. Game over. Okay? All right, I'm going to cancel this because I chose the wrong block. I apologize. I'm going to put that back, and it was this block that I needed. Broadcast and wait. I apologize for that. So broadcast and wait. Now I'm going to create a new message, and I'm going to retype that. Game over exclamation mark. Capital G, capital O, exclamation mark. Okay. Broadcast game over and wait. Then we're going to go back to control blocks, and we're going to grab a wait 1 second. We're going to wait 1 second, and then we're going to stop all scripts. So when you've lost all your lives, it's going to broadcast this message called game over, and then it's going to stop all scripts. Okay, so now let's create the fireworks that happen when the witch loses her life. Okay, so we need a new script. We need a new sprite, sorry. Let's go to File, Save. Okay, so I'm going to load a new sprite, choose a sprite from the library, and I'm going to choose the ball again. Click Ball, and click OK. So you might be asking, why didn't I just copy the previous sprite that we had? So there's a reason for that. Okay, let's click on the I button and let's rename this. Okay, let's rename it as Explosion. So this sprite is going to be called Explosion, and I'm going to click the back button. So make sure you're clicked on the Explosion sprite, and we're going to go here to the Costumes panel. So let's click on the Costumes tab. And you'll notice it's got a number of colors. So what we're going to choose is we're going to choose ball B, the blue ball. Okay. Okay. All right, let's click on the scripts tab. So we're going to create a couple of scripts for the explosion sprite. All right, let's go to events. So when the green flag is clicked, we're going to go to the looks blocks and we're going to click on hide. Okay, so at first this explosion sprite is going to be hidden. We're going to set the size. Let's grab a set size. And we're going to make the sprite very small. So we're going to type in 5%. So set size to 5%. Let's grab the control blocks. And I'm going to look for a repeat. And I'm going to repeat it 72 times. So I'm going to type in 72 here. I'm going to grab, going to go to the motion blocks. And I'm going to turn to the right. Turn clockwise 5 degrees. Turn clockwise 5 degrees. And then I'm going to go to the control blocks and I'm going to create a clone of myself. So it's going to turn 5 degrees and then create a clone, and then turn 5 degrees and create another clone, so that the clones will point in a different direction. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's create a second script here. Let's go to the events blocks. When I receive what message? The message of lose a life. So when I receive that message, I'm going to go to the blue motion blocks and we're going to go to the witch. So these explosions will go to the witch. We'll start from the witch and then they will show. So let's click on the purple looks blocks and show. They will appear. Let's go to the control blocks and we're going to grab a repeat until. Repeat until. We'll go to the sensing blocks. Sorry about that. Okay, so sorry about that. We're in the repeat until. I'm going to go to the sensing blocks and we're going to touching. We're going to grab a touching block. Repeat until it's touching the edge. Go to the motion blocks and we will move 10 steps. And then we'll go to the looks blocks and then we'll hide. Okay. So the explosion clone will continue to move outwards until it hits the edge of the stage. Okay, so when we test it, let's first save it. Let's go to File, Save. So when we test our game and run it, we're going to allow the bat to touch the witch. Okay, then we're going to look for this explosion effect. You'll know it when you see it. The blue ball will emanate from the middle of the stage and move outwards. Then I want you to look for your lives counter to go down by 1. Okay, so let's run the game. Click on the green flag, and I'm not really going to do anything. I'm going to allow the bat to touch the witch, because what I'm focusing on is I'm going to focus on that explosion effect. Right now I have 3 lives, and did you see that explosion? Did you hear the scream, the witch scream? And my lives has gone down by 1. Okay, so I know that those scripts are working. So let's go to File, Save Now. So this concludes part 4 of the video game project Doom on the Broom. Thanks for watching. Bye.